Welcome to Mark Allen's Culinary Adventures. We have an exciting program today. We're going to be talking with a young friend of mine. We've known each other at least 25 years, but it's got to be more than that. We'll find out. Jeff Levy will be joining us. Jeff has been making bagels, and he's going to show us how to make bagels. And this is something that's perfect for your holiday table because people love bagels. You can make them so that you can put jam on it or cream cheese and lox, smoked fish. You can make them sweet, savory. Bagels are really an all-American dish, and we'll find out more about that. So stay tuned as we take to the air. Let's bring Jeff Levy in. Jeff is a bagel maker and a poet. He's a writer. He's a theater director, uh, photographer, traveler, father, grandfather, husband. I'm trying to think of anything else, Jeff.
Well, teacher, educator, proponent of Waldorf education.
Oh, okay, good. Get a plug in there. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been 50 years, Mark.
Have
Just
we've
shy of
known each
50 years. Yep.
Wow.
Look at our hair.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. Excuse me, I got to sit down. There's um 50 years. Jeff was a theater manager at Cal State University Northridge. He's also a faculty member. And I was one of the managers of the public radio station. And we met. I don't know if we met because of the former theater manager had made me fire marshal or something for my floor of the building. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask Jeff, first of all, how did you decide you wanted to make bagels?
Well, I actually don't quite remember. I stumbled across this recipe online, and I like to try things, and I thought I'd try it. And what I really, really like about this recipe is it's not fussy. You know, a lot of baking, you need to be quite precise in measurement and things like that. And this recipe, um, you can be, I've been a little over, a little under on things, and it comes out fine. So
So it's
I like it.
unforgiving, or
What?
it's forgiving.
It's very forgiving, and people really like them. And nothing like a fresh bagel with no preservatives, and you don't have to deal with the store. And I make them about once a week usually.
And it's fast too. I thought it was going to take longer. And we did all the prep yesterday and recorded it. I thought it was going to take maybe an hour to do the prep, and I timed it. Jeff was about 20 minutes, and
Yeah,
I was slow.
it's about 20 minutes, and then of course it's a 2-day process because the refrigerating the dough overnight is very important. It's got to be refrigerated for at least 12 hours. And then the
And
boiling, as you'll see today, is doesn't take very long either.
got it.
The
I'm looking
boiling.
forward to that. You know why I like this recipe? Because I figured out a dozen bagels cost maybe $6. The last time I bought bagels at a bagel store, it was almost $20 for a dozen bagels. It just,
Wow. Wow.
it just got,
And
yeah.
the ingredients here are probably $2 maybe.
Yeah, well, you got the flour and yeast. Yeast was on sale, and it was fun. At one point when we're rolling, and we'll talk about that. I found it very therapeutic. Let's start with the mixing.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Go
yeah,
back to the next.
we'll
Okay.
go back to the mixing. We used a I guess a KitchenAid mixer, and this is
KitchenAid
a
mix.
right with a dough hook, which I didn't even know what it was until Jeff told me. It's shaped like a J. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. So it's about 4 cups of flour, a little bit less. So again, I sort of measure sloppily. 4 cups of flour, a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of dry yeast, a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of salt. And then if you want, I often add caraway seeds, sometimes yeast extract. You can add other things to the dough, but that's the basic dough. And then you're going to heat some water, uh, a little less than 2 cups, or you can start with 2 cups, and a good tablespoon of honey in hot water. It should be 100, at least 100 degrees. And again, I don't measure the water temperature anymore. When it's hot to my finger under the tap, that's good. So you make sure
And
that
you use tap water one, and the honey is dissolved in
in the
the
water,
water.
right?
Right.
So you're going to turn on the mixer and slowly add the water to the flour. Now the only tricky thing I found in this whole recipe is adding too much water. So it takes patience because you'll have a lot of dry flour still in the mixer, and you'll want to add more water too soon. So you got to be patient. It takes like, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, even 10 minutes with the mixer. Um, and you want to get it to the point where uh, it pulls away from the side of the bowl, uh, but uh, like I said, there's probably still some dry flour in there a little bit at the bottom. You don't want to add more water to get rid of it. Let the mixer do the work, because all the while it's doing that, it's building up the gluten, and you want really strong gluten for these bagels. So that's the only tricky thing. One time I made them just a tad too dry. They were a little hard to roll, and a little when I cooked them, they were a little um, not as soft. A couple times I added a little too much water, and then it's a little that they came out fine, but it's a little hard to roll them then because they begin to stick. So you don't when you take the dough out of the bowl, you don't want it. Shouldn't be sticky. Um,
Well, you tell what we
well,
did.
so then you take the dough out, put it on a cutting board. You don't need to flour the board or anything because it shouldn't be sticking, and um, and then you can cut it into 8 or 10 or 12 pieces. I used to just cut it into 8 pieces, which makes bigger bagels. But my wife asked me to make them smaller, so now I usually divide it into 12 pieces. Again, for a while, I used to weigh them to make sure they were all the same weight, but that's not worth it. You can eyeball it because it doesn't matter if they're a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. I usually use cornmeal or breadcrumbs. It's just so it doesn't, as it's sitting in the fridge overnight, it doesn't stick. Or
Yeah,
they'll stick a little bit, but not very much. So
got it.
then you cut it into say 12 pieces. You make little balls, and then you go back to second grade and roll a snake out, maybe a foot long or 10 inches long, and then form the bagel. You have to knead it a little bit to make the ends join. Um, And if you want, you can dip one end in a little bit of water to make it join a little bit better. You don't have to do that. And then you kind of massage it to make it more or less even all the way around the bagel. Although
Yeah,
inevitably one side's going to be thicker than the other.
and yeah, I'm going to bring those over right now, and we'll take a look at them. Let's see how I did. These are right out of the refrigerator, and Carol. Oh, good, good there.
Yeah,
And and
and
I
you
think
cover them right in the fridge.
yes, they were covered all night with aluminum foil, and I
Uh,
couldn't resist. I got up at one point during the night, and they're sticking a little bit, um, to look at it, and they're they're different than when I put them in, as you saw them. a few moments ago as I put them on here. And I think my biggest problem is that the holes for most of these are a little bit big. This one
Ah,
looks perfect. I'll give this one to Carol. But because she cleaned up, Jeff, she deserves it. Um, and what about a little bit of powder flour stuck to that one? But I think my holes were a little bit big. Um, this was my first one. This one here.
yeah.
So what do we do now?
So meanwhile, you've got your water boiling, and you want to heat your oven up to 450 or 500 degrees. Um, if you have a pizza stone, that should be in there getting really hot. That'll form a real nice crust on the bottom. Uh, but if you don't have a pizza stone, a cooking sheet or baking sheet would work just fine. I suppose you could even use a skillet or something. But
Cast
so
iron.
that needs to, you want that really hot so that after you've boiled the bagels and you've put your seasoning on them, you're going to open the oven with oven mitts on and put those bagels on the cooking surface.
Got it. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back up to here, and I have a rack that we have, and I'll put the rack back here on our sheet, and there. So I'm going to put these in like two at a time, Jeff.
Two at a time, and then you could use a clock or timer. I usually just kind of count in my head to 30 or 40 seconds.
Okay. Okay.
Now I
And
know in Montreal, the Montreal style bagel, they boil them in honey water. I
ooh,
don't do, but that's another little variation you can do.
I had said earlier that the that bagels can be savory or sweet. I like savory
Uh-huh.
bagels. I'm not a big like blueberry um,
Right,
uh, fan. I love blueberries. I just don't
right,
like blueberry or strawberry bagels.
right.
Not right.
I agree.
Okay. You know, well, we were both raised with savory bagels. Nobody, you know, 60 years ago, they didn't have sweet bagels that I remember. They had water bagels, they had egg bagels. I think they had onion bagels.
Onion bagels.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there you go. All right, here we go. Now, when we put these in, do I just drop them in or should I gently put them in?
No, you just drop them in.
Okay.
And they're going to change color a little bit. They'll look a little healthier when they get out. They plump up a little bit in the water. This forms the typical shell for the bagel on the outside. The story was, I believe that one reason bagels were boiled was in some countries Jewish bakers weren't allowed to sell baked goods, but they could sell boiled goods.
Ah,
So bagels were boiled. Of course, these are going to be baked too.
now, they haven't really changed color.
Well, when you put them next to the other ones, you'll see they're going to be a little different.
Okay. And I'll take the next one out. I am using what is called a chin or chen um, from my walk set.
Uh-huh. It's exactly what I use.
Got it.
So usually, while the next set are boiling, I then begin putting my egg wash on the ones that have been boiled and start sprinkling the topping on.
So I notice that these are wet. obviously, because they just came out of the water. Should I pat them down, or isn't it
Yeah,
necessary?
no, no, that's fine.
Okay. So I have an egg wash here, and my egg wash, I have um, a
And that's
dark
that's
yolk.
going to give it a nicer a color when it cooks, a little
Yes,
shininess, and it also helps hold the topping on.
got it. All right.
You know,
All right. Good.
and by now you could probably take out the other two and add another two to your bath.
Got it. Ooh, look at me. Okay. And I'll let those drain and cool a little bit.
So I'd sprinkle the two that you coated with the egg wash with your topping.
So I've got some minced onion, and I suppose you could saute onions and
Yeah,
put that on
sky's
as well.
the limit. Sky's the limit. You could probably put anchovies on them if you wanted.
I love anchovies, but I don't think they go with a bagel. Do you like anchovies?
I love anchovies.
Which kind? Do you like the salty kind?
Yeah, salty. I make Caesar salad dressing with them.
Yes. Yeah, without that,
And
it
and
I
I
also
like a little salt on top of the bagel too. So I usually sprinkle some salt on there.
well, we were going to use uh, Caroline. I don't know why, and I love anchovies, which are indeed salty, but um, but I don't. Whoops! And I'm putting on. This is garlic, starting to look like a bagel.
Yeah, I found I used to do separately poppy seeds and sesame seeds and salt and whatever else, but I know at Trader Joe's they have something called everything but the bagel, and that's just about the perfect topping.
They have, yeah, and I thought I liked it. I've used it. Um, whoa. Let's see if I can move that up. Can I? There. Got,
Yeah, you're gonna
oh,
have trouble getting the last two on there.
yeah. Well, maybe I'll move those to the pan.
Sure.
Should just to well, our pan is not going to be hot because we've got it. We're putting it over some parchment paper.
Right. Well, so you're not going to get as crisp a bottom as I have because mine I've got that peach stone heated up to a 500 degrees,
Got it.
um, and then I got to put on heavy mitts and move the bagels from the rack onto that hot stone.
Got it. All right. I found I found cooking in general cathartic. It's just it's fun. I know a lot of people don't like to do it. I like to eat more than I like to cook,
Uh-huh.
and
Well,
my
I've gotten to the point where making bagels has become so automatic to me, I hardly even have to think about it anymore. Um,
well, I can't wait to do these again because I think the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, right?
right, they definitely get easier.
All right, I'm going to put these on a pizza pan, and I'm going to go get those other last two in a minute. Okay. Oh, I looked around for the bagels and I couldn't find them. And I can turn the water down, off.
So any flour or anything that was stuck to the bagels comes off in the water bath.
Yeah, it did. There's a little bit here, and I don't think it'll be bad. It'll bake off it. So what I'm going to do now?
Whoop, you didn't put the egg wash on.
Ah, I forgot. All right, one of them is not going to have an egg wash.
Well, good. That'll be a good test to
Yeah,
see what the difference is.
yeah,
You know, if you want to be real fancy, you can separate the yolk from the white and just do
yeah.
a wash with the whites, but I never bother.
I like the yolk.
Right. Well, if you were making something like a cinnamon bagel,
Yeah.
with some sugar on top, then you might want to just use whites.
Okay. Yeah. Without the egg wash, I could see it doesn't it doesn't stick as well. Okay. All right. I
So
want. Yeah.
you
Now,
pop those in the oven.
can everybody see those? All
Yeah,
right.
look at
Let's.
that.
All right. We're gonna pop those into a 450-degree oven, and this will be an edit point because I don't have a camera over there. Uh, there's there.
So you got them in.
Yeah.
So of course, everybody's oven's different altitudes. Um, 500. I use 500 in the heated pizza stone. So I'd say you're probably going to want to look at them in about 5 minutes. They might not be quite done yet, or they may be completely done. If you want to be fancy, you can rotate them after a couple minutes. I don't bother with that.
Oh,
Um,
top to bottom.
no, just
Oh,
spin the platter.
got it.
Um, because ovens heat differently in front and back. But again, I don't bother with that. Um, yeah, like I say, it's just keep an eye on them. You don't want them to get too done, but you want them to, they'll plump up a little bit when they cook. So they may stick to each other a little bit, um, which is fine. Uh, like 5 minutes, and then you're going to take them out, put them on a cooling rack, and not eat them right away.
That's going to be real hard, but I can smell them.
Yeah, you gotta give them at least 5 minutes to cool down after you take them out.
Got it. So
But I usually put
while we're waiting, what other things does Jeff like to cook?
well. Let's see. I love to make pies. I love
Ooh,
to make pies, particularly apple and peach is my new favorite. Sometimes cherry. I always make my own pie crust. Um, for a long time during the pandemic, I was making bread once a week. I've kind
I
of gotten out of
remember that.
the habit of doing that. Um, and I generally, what I like to cook most is what's ever in the fridge. Um, I'm not, I'll use recipes, but I like to work with whatever's on hand. Of course, I like salads. Um, I
You
like
make
a
your
lot
own
of,
dressing.
yep, a lot
You
of fresh
mentioned
vegetables.
Caesar.
Yep. And gosh, what else do I like? Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Hey, did a video on how to make a great peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Growing up, um, my mom always bought smooth peanut butter. I don't even
Uh-huh.
know if they had crunchy peanut butter. And Carol and I have been, for years, we've been buying smooth peanut butter because that's what we were used to. And on a lark, I got some crunchy. We don't buy the smooth anymore.
Right. Right. Well, it was quite a battle to develop how to make peanut butter, and the early competitors got there was quite a peanut butter war with the Peter Pan peanut butter and Jif, and of course now we get ones that don't have so much sugar and additives in them.
Well, the best peanut butter, we're using, it's made by, I'm trying to think. It's just peanuts and salt.
Right.
And yeah, good idea, Carol. Thank you. And Santa Cruz brand.
Uh-huh.
And the reason I buy this is there's only peanuts and there's only salt, and it is non-GMO and organic.
Right.
It's a little bit more money than Jif, but Jif has high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Awesome.
what was that? Does it have salt? This? Oh yeah, it has to have salt. I'm sure it does. Organic roasted peanuts, 1% or less of salt. And it's made by the Smucker company.
Uh-huh.
Because if it's Smuckers, you know it must be good. Something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Did they give you? Did you get a little? They
A
pay you
little
for that?
kickback? Yeah, I'd like
Um,
to. Do you know
so we had
who?
a little. For a while, we had a little nut grinder, and you can make your own fresh peanut butter.
Oh,
Just put a bunch of peanuts in, and it comes out in a paste, and that's the best. But
they
a
used
little
to
more
have, I
nuisance.
remember, I think they used to have a peanut butter maker in a market, but
Uh-huh.
but you know, somebody wants cashews, next person wants peanuts, and how do you clean it? And
Right,
so
and
I
with
haven't seen it. Yeah,
allergies these days and stuff, that would be
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, um, I have a question for you. Uh, that line I just gave about Smuckers. Do you
Hmm.
know who said it? For years. I mean, I think he was the spokesperson for over 30 years.
It seems like it's a Walt Disney thing, but No.
No, the guy's name was Mason Adams, and he had such a distinctive, interesting voice. If you ever watched Lou Grant, the TV show, he was the editor of the paper that Lou Grant worked for. So you could see him, but his voice was so unique. And he did thousands of Smucker commercials.
Uh,
Um, and just and an interesting guy. We should check this.
yeah,
Okay.
I take a peek.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to take a little peek. Oh man, have they puffed up? But they're not brown, so we
Yeah.
should let them
Oh,
brown a little bit.
yeah. Let 'em- You know, and as I recall, you put a little more yeast in the recipe than
Yes.
I suggested, so they make it a little puffier.
Carol wants to know if we should make the oven hotter. Do you think that'll help?
Well,
It's
you're at
450.
450. I don't think between 450 and 500 it makes that much
Makes a
difference.
difference. You know what I'm going to do? I'm sorry. Open that up. I'm going to let people see it. Okay. And then let's do it this way. Uh, Here are the bagels, the 8 bagels that I've made, and you can see that they've puffed up, and we're hoping that they'll they'll brown. I can throw that in,
Great.
right? Okay. Carol, you want to pause this for a couple of minutes? It's not there. No, no, no. To the right, right under the logo. It says pause. Yeah. Go ahead and change to the other camera. Yeah. All right. I Whoa. All right. I'm just taking these out of the oven, and you can see them right there. I'm going to put them down, and I'm going to put them on a cooling rack. I wonder if no, they're quite warm. I know. Okay. All right. Um, how long should these cool, Jeff?
Well, uh, as long as you can make yourself wait.
All
So is
right.
that the one there without the egg wash on it?
Uh, I can't. I'm trying to see which one that was. Oh, this one. This is the one without the egg wash. They've It stuck to the parchment paper a little bit. Okay. Now, these are chewy bagels. I can feel that.
Yep.
one more.
And they're pretty easy to slice the first day or two. So you don't have to worry too much about, sometimes it's a little hard to cut the bagel. If you,
Got it.
after 2 or 3 days, they get a little hard. And as you can see, you can have them different levels of doneness. So like the one on top, it could be a little darker.
Yeah.
And some on the bottom are a little pale.
But
But
even
that's to your taste.
it's still too hot to
Yeah, if
touch.
it's still too hot, it'll be hard to cut then because it'll
Yeah.
tear apart a little bit.
And
So you got to
yeah,
wait.
it'll,
You got some patience.
yes. I have no patience.
Yeah.
No
So
patience. None.
so a lot of ER doctors are patients because people cut themselves cutting bagels. Apparently, that's a fairly common injury
Oh, that's
at ER,
wow.
and then you get a little blood flavor with the
You know,
bagel.
you know what the other thing is? The guys at Whole Foods Fish Department in Thousand Oaks told me that a lot of people will buy oysters and shuck
Oh,
them themselves, and that's a big owie,
yep. Unless you
right?
know what to do.
Yes. Well, the guy told me to buy a thick leather glove,
Uh-huh.
and then he showed me. He said when he goes back to shuck them, that's what he puts on
Ah,
because he doesn't want to take. Um, I don't know how to. They smell heavenly.
they look pretty
Uh,
good. My mouth is watering.
yeah, I got to tell you, you have to let us know. You made some gluten free ones today, right?
Well, yeah, but that are sitting in the fridge now. I'll boil them up tomorrow and see how they turn out. I did that because Lissa is gluten free, and she's coming down in a couple of weeks with the family for the
Got it.
holidays. So I thought I'd see, um, you know, when I told her I made a couple, maybe a couple of years ago, she said, "Why didn't you do that when I lived at home?" I hadn't discovered hadn't discovered the recipe yet.
It's funny. Lissa Levy, Chef Lissa Levy, has been on our show more times than anybody else, and
Uh-huh.
that's Jeff and Heidi Levy's daughter. So
Right. So you still have Liz to get and
yeah,
June.
yeah. Do they both cook?
Absolutely. Yeah.
A cooking family. I like that.
Yeah. Liz made. What did she make? It was like a mock creme brulee, but it was really good and
Mm.
it was so easy. She just did. Boy, I'm trying to remember. Just some heavy cream and maybe some lemon and baked it, and it came out just like creme brulee.
Oh my. She made she a couple of years ago. She made a butternut squash soup,
Uh huh.
and Carol and I just craved it a couple of weeks ago. Dug out Lissa's recipe, and I made it.
Yeah, I still
And
make that too.
yeah, it was really good. All right, I'm gonna no, they're too hard. They're gonna fall apart. So on our next show, I will tell you how these taste, and they're all for me. Hey Jeff, thank you. Will you come back and maybe make something with me with anchovies?
Sure,
Do you
sure.
like the Italian raw anchovy in olive oil? Have you had that?
Uh, I don't know whatever is in the tins, the little tins, in oil, definitely.
Yeah,
So,
it's now I'm getting hungry. I'm always hungry. Jeff, thank you very much. Hold on a second. Hey, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Bye bye for now. Thanks, Carol.